Hi guys. If you can recall previously, I said it's quite important to draw timelines so that you can exactly see what is going on when you do financial problems. Now, in this lesson, we're going to go into proper detail. We're going to look at timelines because sometimes you invest and then you withdraw and then you invest another amount. It depends on what happens in your life. So sometimes there are different amounts involved and we need to cover all of that. And the best way to do that is to draw a timeline. So here's your method. Very important to draw a timeline. If they ask you to deposit, then you're adding because it's stuff that you want in the end. So you're adding the amounts. If you are withdrawing, automatically you subtract from what you've added. So from your investment, if you withdraw somewhere, you subtract that amount. And you always work each amount to the very end of the timeline. That is the most important part. NB. You always work to the very end of the period. So if you invest something for 12 years, you will do that sum up to the end of 12 years. If you after 3 years subtract some money, you work that out till the end of the 12th year. So make sure that then all your little sums that you're doing go to the very end of that period. But as I say always, it's best to do an example because if we do an example, you can exactly see what is happening. Okay, Angela invests 10,000 Rand at 12%. Now, I'm not going to, let's do it because we're now used to do it. Invest, so that is my beginning money. I start with it now at the present, P. At 12% interest, there's my I, compounded quarterly. Very important because then I have to divide by 4, quarterly. I'm already reading the 3. After 3 years, that is your N. 1, 2, 3. There's your 3 things involved. Now, after 3 years, he withdraws 2,000 Rand. And after 7 years, he invests or deposits another 4,000. What is the investment worth at the end of 8 years? Oh, so that is not your N. You see, that's why in the beginning said, maybe I should not immediately, but I'm going to do it. I'm just going to take that one off to make sure you understand that this problem is about the end of 8 years. The end of 8 years. So that 3 years was already for the next amount, 2,000 Rand. And then there's another amount, 4,000 Rand. So there's different amounts involved, but in the end, my whole timeline is set over 8 years. So before you start, you do a timeline, you start at year 0 and you end at year 8. This is how your timeline looks. Good, so let's start. He invests 10,000 Rand. So I'm going to put the 10,000 here. I'm going to put a plus in front of it. He's going to, in the end, have this money with all the interest that he makes. Good. So this 10,000 Rand is going to be for the whole 8 years. So I'm going to start off now. I'm just going to do the basic formula here. P, 1 plus I to the power of N. You all know that formula. But before I do that, I need to make sure that my I and my N is the same. You remember? So I'm going to write my I here. My I was 12%, so 0.12, calculated quarterly. Now, if you want to, you can physically do it and say it's 0.03, but I'm very afraid that you're going to say 0.3, so I'll rather just leave it like that. But now, if that is quarters, then my 8 years must also be quarters. So how many quarters in a year? 4. So for 8 years, it's 8 times 4, which gives me 32. So now that I've sorted my I and my N, I can do the sum for 10,000 Rand. So I'm going to start here. The investment was 10,000 Rand. 1 plus the I was 0.12 over 4 for the whole 8 years, which is 32 months. I'm just going to write months here so that you are sure everything now is in terms of months. Good. Now, because we are lazy in maths, I'm not going to do one sum, get the answer. Do another sum, get the answer. Do another sum, get the answer. You can. It's another method. I'm just going to do it all in one. Because the next thing they say, after 3 years, he withdraws 2,000 Rand. So I'm going to, year 1, year 2, year 3. So there is year 3. He withdraws 2,000 Rand. So I'm just going to say minus. So I'm going to still take the 2,000 Rand. I'm going to slot it into my same formula because I want to know the 2,000 Rand from the 3rd year to the very end. how much it's going to give me, or how much interest I'm now taking away, or how much capital I'm now taking away with interest. So I'm just going to do it all in one. So it's 1 plus, my interest is still 0.12 over 4. But now you must be very careful, because now it's on year 3, and you have to go up to year 8. So how many years is this 2,000 going to have up to the year 8? 5 years. So for that one, n is 5 times 4. Why times 4? Because remember, we are working quarterly. Monthly. Oh, sorry. You see, I made a mistake again. Months. Was it months? Did I divide by 12? Quarters. Quarters, not months. So all my sums need to be in quarters. You will not necessarily have to write it down. I'm just doing it so that you remember all the time quarterly. So everything needs to be in quarters. So my 5 years left times 4 gives me 20 quarters. So I put that there. And because I don't have a lot of space, I'll just do the next one here. After 7 years, he invests again. So plus another 4,000 rand. So there's my 4,000 rand. Now, be very careful. Is it now 7 years after the withdrawal or 7 years after he started? Let's just read it again. After 7 years. So they didn't say after 7 years after the withdrawal. They just said after 7 years. So since he started, after 7 years. So there at year 7, he adds another 4,000 rand. Now this is going to happen in life, because you're going to get money from something, then you're going to need some money for something, going to withdraw. So if you've got an investment one day, this is going to happen in real life. So I do exactly the same formula. It's still quarters, 0.12 over 4. But now how many quarters is this one? From 7 years to 8 years is 1 year, but it's quarters. So I need to times by 4. So now it's a 4 on the end. Now I slot all of this into my calculator. I put everything in there. I'm going to do this one so that you see how we do it. 10,000. Make very sure that you have the right amount of zeros. Very easily we leave out 1 0. 1 plus fraction, 0.12 over 4. To the right hand side, close the bracket, to the power of 32. Now, and this is why I want to physically do it with you. If you now just say minus 2,000, it's going to do everything there at the exponent, all in the air. This is not what you want. So with your cursor, you always have to go back from the exponent to normal figures. So you press the right-hand side of your cursor. Now you're flat on the line again, and you can now say, okay, I'm minusing 2,000 now. With all its interest, which is in the bracket, 1 plus fraction, 0.12 over 4. Go to the right-hand side, close your bracket, to the power of, that was to the power of 20. Again, go to the right-hand side with your cursor, and now I have to add the 4,000. With all its interest, so it's 1 plus fraction, 0.12 over 4. To the right-hand side, bracket to the power of, this was only 1 year, so it's 4 quarters, and I press the equal sign. And this should give me the right answer. 26,640 rand and 64 cents. Now let me just quickly explain again. If you did each one of these separately, if you did the 10,000 rand separately, and then you did the 2,000 rand separately, and then you did the 4,000 rand separately, and you took the amount of the first one minus the amount of the second one plus the amount of the third one, you get the same answer. But you're going to tend to round off each time. And by the time you get to the final answer, you'll be very far off with your cents or even rands, because you rounded off too many times. So if you want to do it that method, if you want to use that method, you must slot every answer into your memory. And I hope you know how. You just say store, so you press Shift RCL, recall, but on top of it says store, and you store it in the red A. There's a red A above the minus sign. If you want to store another one, you say store, so it's Shift RCL, and then you store it into B. And if you then say A minus B plus C, it will then give you all the answers not rounded off, and then you get to the correct answer. Because you see, that's a lot more work. So I prefer that you do the whole sum in one. Just one thing, check your calculator. Because if you press 1 0 too little or too much, it's going to give you the wrong answer. So before you press the equal sign, go back and just check, because everything is standing on your display. Check that you've got everything correct, and then you should not make a mistake. Good. So it's still the normal formula, A is equal to P 1 plus I to the power of N, but now I'm using it a few times in one sum, and that is why the timeline is so very, very important. You actually cannot do this without a timeline. You're going to do it all on your own. There's the timeline. Now you see here, they worked out that it's 0.03. So if you do not want to do that fraction all the time in each sum, you can work it out, and you can just use the 0.03. Just make very sure that you don't just do it in your head, because I know if you do it in your head, you're going to say 0.3. It happens very often. So rather than do it on a calculator, so that when you get to your sum now, you see this is done a bit different. It is firstly done each separately, but the second part here is what I prefer, where you slot it all into one sum, and then it gives you the answer in the end. Good. And if you now go into the bracket, I'm just going to write it here. The bracket was 1 plus 0.03 to the power of N. And you see that is where they get 1.03. So it makes maybe the calculator clicking easier if you can do that on the calculator and just write the one answer and click all of that on your calculator. Good. Example 2. Sipho opens a saving account, deposits 18,000 Rand. So he starts off, he deposits 18,000 Rand into the account. A year later, he deposits another 14,000. And 6 months later, another 25,000. So I have to keep my wits here. I need a timeline. We'll do the timeline just now. 2 years after he had opened the account, so 2 years after the very start, he withdraws 20,000. So you see how many things you can actually do with one calculation. How much will be in his account after 4 years? So what are they asking? The end amount. They're asking the end amount after 4 years. If the interest rate was 8.8% compounded quarterly. So I know the I is going to be divided by 4. That means the N is being times by 4. So before I turn over and start a timeline where I've got space, it's very important that I know those things. So there's your timeline. Now I already filled in the amounts because it's a lot of amounts. This is for the years. Let's just quickly go back. After 4 years, so I'm just going to circle that. That was my N. So I know my N is 4 years, but remember we're doing it in quarters. So at 4 years, and the percentage is 8.8%. So I'm going to do here, the percentage is 0.088. Be very careful. It's not 0.88. It's 8.8%, so you need to write it on the hundredths space. But because it's done quarterly, it's divided by 4. Now the N, I'm just going to say N times 4. Because you agree with me, there's lots of different time slots now. Because these are the years. I need to change all of those years into quarters. So as I go with each sum, I'll do that. Good. And you'll see all of them are just normal numbers. For the 20,000 Rand, there's a minus. So just as they said, after 2 years, firstly they said after 1 year, he invested 14,000. Now, this is 1.5 years. You agree? Because it's right in between. They said after 6 months. So it's 1.5 years. And then they said on the second year, he withdrew 20,000. On the third year, nothing happened. And on the fourth year, they want to know how much money is now in the bank. So let's start off. My formula, I'm just going to write it here because you need to always write down your formula. Remember, you get a mark for your formula. So never just start off and say, oh, I know how to do this thing. I must just do the one plus the other one plus the other one minus the other one. You need to write your formula first. You get a mark for the formula. Good. So there's your formula. I'm going to start with the first 18,000. 1 plus my I. Now, can you see this I is very easy to do? It's 0.022. Because it's very easy to just divide the 4 into the 2 8s. Then I don't have to work with the fraction all the time. So now I can just use the 0.022. Make sure you know why. Because I've divided the 8.8% by 4 because it's quarters. So I can just do that, 0.022. And now if you slot that into your calculator later on, you can just slot in 1,022 because you can add that easily in your head. Okay, 1,022. Okay, what is the n on top? It's 4 years, but remember, I need to change it to quarters. So I'm just going to write 4 times 4 so you know where it's coming from, which gives me 16. That is for that one. But then I need to add 14,000. 1 plus 0.022. Now, 14,000 is year. So from year 1 to year 4 is 3 years, but I need to change it into quarters. So it's 3 times 4. You're still with me? Then again, I must add 25,000. 1 plus 0.022. Now be very careful here. It's now 1.5 years after you started. So how far is it from the end? The end is 4 years. So do you agree with me? It's 2.5 years. From 1.5, you can actually count it here. 1 year, and a little half a year. So it's 2.5 years. Now, how many quarters are there in 2.5 years? If you multiply 2.5 by 4, what do you get? 10. Or you can just, I'm just going to write the 10 there, or you can just say 2.5 times 4, because every n needs to be multiplied by 4. Was that the last one? No, there's still a subtract. Minus 20,000, bracket 1 plus 0,022 to the power of, now there's the 20,000 on the second year. So how many years up to the end? 2 years, but I need to multiply by 4. And if you then press your equal sign, I'm going to cheat a bit to save time. It gives you 50,948,97 Rand. If you want to check if you're right, this is not as easy because you invested and invested again and invested again, and then you subtracted. But at least I've got 50,000, nearly 51,000 Rand. So it's much more than I started off with. So it does make sense. If that was just 5,000 Rand, so somewhere you missed a zero, you know that you made a mistake. So always check with your practical mind if the answer is possible. Good. Now I'm going to take this off. You can use the same timeline. Actually, you shouldn't. You should make your own timeline. You can check this one afterwards because you're not going to get a timeline in the test or exam. You need to make your own. And then here you can check the answers. Now, here they said nominal interest rate. You don't have to do that. You can just say I. Remember, I said nominal is the normal I that we use. So there's the problem, everything done, and there's the answer in the end. Oh, and just remember, we don't use points anymore. In South Africa, we use commas. Overseas, they still use points. So make very sure that you always use your comma. Good. And then, as always, some exercise for you to do. There's only one sum with the answer at the back, in yellow. You can take a textbook or any other one and do a lot of practice on these, but also the examples. Go back on a clean sheet of paper. The more practice you get on this, the better you're going to get at it. Same formula all the time. It's just that you do a few sums now in one. Good luck. I'll see you next time.